I'm standing outside Macquarie Lighthouse on Sydney's south head at Vaucluse. This very recognisable building stands on the site of Australia's oldest lighthouse. It was built in 1818 by ex-convict architect Francis Greenway. So pretty early on in the colony, the early colonists decided there needed to be a road built out to South Head so they could build some kind of structure to warn ships of the treacherous coastline along this cliff face here. There were many shipwrecks along here because of how dangerous that coastline was. So the main objective was to build some kind of light structure. They started the signal station down the other end of the headland, and then the lighthouse was started here in 1818. The first lighthouse keeper was Robert Watson, who eventually the suburb of Watson's Bay would be named after. So this is a photo of the original lighthouse on the left, and then the current lighthouse that still stands on the right. They only actually stood together for a very short period. The first lighthouse, built in 1818, it lasted until the 1880s when it was crumbling and falling apart, and a new architect, James Barnett, who was then also the colonial architect, was employed to design the current building. He was obsessed with Queen Victoria. He put Queen Victoria all over his buildings. He also designed the General Post Office in Martin Place that I've also done a video of. And of course, there's a beautiful Queen Victoria statue there. We have a small head of Queen Victoria above the central door of the lighthouse here. This lighthouse was essential to Sydney's development, as ships were able to see how far they were away from the coastline and were able to navigate around through South Head and into Circular Quay. This building originally was manned by one family, and they lived in the lighthouse keeper's house just next to it. They had many kids. Some reports say there was about 13 children, and they were on a roster to keep the light burning. The light was originally gas-generated electricity, which was then turned into kerosene in 1912, and then reconfigured to be an electric light in 1933, and still lights up every night. If you'd like to learn more, feel free to join us on a walking tour.